Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the hang on a moment. There we go. The Mythic League for today. Sorry about that. A little bit of a static in the ear. My name is Raptor, joined by Torres. We've got Poseidon versus H Block today in our first game of week 4. How are you doing today, Torres?
I'm doing all right. Getting ready to look into these games. See, the matchup is pretty even up on the scoreboard. Of course, POG is up by one more win, but as we're towards the middle of the season, it's anyone's game.
Yeah, we've still got a lot of games to go. We've still got 7 games for each of these teams. Sorry, 6 games for each of these teams. One team has unfortunately stepped down from the league in Team Baby. So 6 more games for each of these teams. There's anyone could make the playoffs still. And, these teams are still very close in the standings right now.
Yeah, very close in the standings, but as we talk a little bit less about the standings, more into this draft, it seems that H Block has decided to target Gunsy, the star mid laner for POG.
Yeah, Gunsy's been having a phenomenal season so far. I can see why they would want to target him right there, put him on something a little bit less comfortable. POG on their first pick now, going to be a Morgana to start this off. Not sure if it's jungle or support. We've seen it in both leagues, kind of going all over the place. I would assume at this level it's going to be the support, but we'll have to see where they go from there.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Morgana, I mean, we are on the new patch where her clear speed has been a little bit slowed. But, I mean, it is a good flex pick. Can pick into a lot of good support matchups right now, and also just the jungle. I mean, it's just overall good flex and safe first pick.
Yeah, Morgana is also very good at stopping a lot of these dives that we've seen going on in this league. There's been a lot of very heavy diving in the Mythic League. Gives her AD carry a little bit of a spell shield, allows them to just not get immediately CC'd and obliterated. Gives them a little extra time to maybe get some damage off in a fight. And the one I thought they were going to match up with is actually going to H-Block with the Jinx.
Yeah, I mean, really good from H-Block. I mean, I guess they're assuming that the Morgana is going to be support, maybe due to the nerfs. Maybe they just think it's going to be straight to support. Maybe it's a personal favorite of Fat Ectomorph. I do remember him playing it a couple of times back when he was on Potato Peelers, so that's probably what they're going along the lines with. Pairing the Lulu up with a hyper carry like Jinx is always a great idea, and I mean, it's just a good R1, R2.
Yeah, and we're going to say, ooh, I thought that for a moment it had insta-locked in. I was like, oh boy, a Cho'Gath. But it looks like it's going to be a Scion instead. With that coming, if that goes all the way through, we have seen a lot of Scion Ornn matchups in the top lane, 2 very beefy matchups. But no, it's going to be a Gangplank for HBK.
Yeah, I mean, pretty standard from HBK. You pick the support up after probably seeing what the enemy support is. Pick something that pairs up nicely with the Lulu hyper carry ADC, and you pick the counter matchup with the Gangplank into the Ornn, where it's kind of a push and pull kind of lane where they just play the waves, but over in the end, of course, Ornn gets tanky and he's better for team fights, where Gangplank can have that early pressure with his ultimate, and he kind of just stacks up that gold and tries to build up his own advantage in that bully lane he has with his range advantage.
Yeah, and Gangplank, we haven't seen quite as much of him recently. It's been very much about beefy top laners, a lot of bruisers, but I am excited to see him. He is a very fun top laner to watch, especially if he gets the barrel chain. It's always fun to watch just everything explode. As we see the last ban coming through for HBK, just 5 straight bans down that mid lane. They really are trying to target Gunsy here.
I mean, looking effectively when I used to play against Gunsy, his best champions are banned out here in these bans, so they're doing a good job of pinching his champion pool. But, I mean, it's all going to come down to whether HBK can put the pressure onto Gunsy and how they play around the mid laner. Their mid laner, H-Block.
Yeah, and it's going to be... I think it'll probably be the last pick for them, I'm guessing, from HBK. No reason to grab that mid laner before you see POG's side. And, at this point, I'm assuming the Morgana is going to be the support. Morgana Jhin is a very strong bottom lane. We'll have to see if they grab something beefier to kind of help out with that front line, or if they're going to grab something a little bit more carry-orientated in the jungle, kind of spread out their carry potential. So we see, ooh, it could be the Malzahar.
Yeah, I mean, Gunsy's really just kind of flexing his champion pool at this point. Crowther Moonlight just hovering over those 3 champions despite 5 mid laners banned, saying he feels confident on enough of, like, 8 champions enough, and ends up just going up with the Orianna. Looks like a strong combo for the last 2 picks. if that rail does get locked in. Just a really nice team fight comp.
Yeah, and if that is locked in, it will be the Morgana jungle. It is going to be Morgana jungle. Karma support coming through at the bottom lane. Not something I usually see paired with Jhin. It is a pokey lane, but not something that, you know, has really solid lockdown. It can be a little bit difficult at times. Karma's got to kind of chase down her target with the W. She's got to try to hit through the minions with the Q unless she's got it ulted. So we'll have to watch that lane. I think that will be actually a very interesting lane to see how it goes on. Is a Nico coming through for H-Block? Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, H-Block, I'm pretty sure he favors that champion, so it's not that surprising. Yeah, it feels comfortable in this matchup against the Orianna. But looking at both these drafts, I do think that HBK is kind of draft favored. If they don't get shoved out in lane by POG's bot lane from the Karma Jhin, because essentially what that Karma does have the advantage in comparison to Wu is going to be that poke and shoving them out of lane, not allowing that Jinx to free farm. So if they get a lot of jungle attention from Bobrovsky, from that jungle Morgana, I can see it snowballing in POG's favor. But if not, I feel like the game will eventually go to H-Block.
Yeah, this game is going to be on Bobrovsky the entire way through. I agree. I think HBK has this, not only because of their comp, but also because POG picked Ornn, and as I have heard Asim say multiple times over the last week, never first blind pick Ornn. If you don't know the enemy top laner, it's always going to end painfully. We'll have to see, though, who takes the better of this as we get onto the Rift for our first game of the day. POG taking on HBK.
Yeah, and it looks like more of just a 5-point start coming out from HBK. Gangplank just immediately going up to that top side. It looks like Bobrovsky kind of wants to figure out the pathing of the Nocturne. Probably might even put down a deep ward, maybe just play it a little bit safe. Yeah, it looks like he's just spawning out high at.
Bob gets spotted. I don't think he realizes he wasn't in the push.
He knows now, but that's it.
Man, that's all over. GG, you've been spotted already. But yeah, this is a pretty standard start. Like you said, it's all going to be on Bobrovsky to try to make the action happen for POG. He's got to set up the plays. He's got to get the CC lockdown to get the ganks off. And if I was him, I feel like bot lane might be the target to go for.
Yeah, it might be the target to go for. I mean, we've already talked about how Bobrovsky is going to be enabling these, basically enabling his lanes and his carries to be able to do what they need to do. But it's also very new to see Bobrovsky kind of on this enabler role, not playing somewhat of a carry. I want to see how this Morgana plays out.
Yeah, you know, and it's nice to see that Bob can play another role in the team. He doesn't always have to be the carry. He can be the assisting guy. He can let someone else on the team do some of that heavy lifting for him. And I think that speaks a lot of volume to the diversity of POG's playstyle. They can have multiple people step up when they need to, and also shows the depth of their roster too. Any member on this team can step up any day and prove that they can carry this game.
Yeah, I think that's something they were lacking a little bit in the this second season from last season. But I mean, with these, I feel like Gunty is a little bit of an upgrade in comparison to Street Smurf, in my own personal opinion. He's more of a lane dominant and kind of player, and if he gets a lead or the ball rolling, he really just runs over a game. Where I think Bobrovsky has noticed this, and he feels a little bit more assured, less of a coin flip player. You can just sit back, relax, kind of just enable that kind of player, and the game will just get run over by its own.
Yeah, and in this comp, I actually feel like a lot of the pressure to carry is going to be on Crow. Ori, it can do quite a bit of damage, but once you've kind of gone through your entire rotation, there isn't really a lot left. You're really heavy on cooldowns. It's going to be up to this Jhin to get the damage out there, to get the ball rolling, and to be that threat to just blast through HBK's line. And like HBK's team is pretty squishy. I mean, obviously you'll have the Lulu ult to help you out in the shield, but other than that, like there isn't a true tank on this team, unless you know the Nocturne decides to run Stridebreaker, Bruiser, which I guess would be the tankiest they get. So he's going to need to be able to get that early lead so he can get that damage buff up to just try to one-shot people on HBK's team. Because if they end up having to play a 4v5, I think POG will have this pretty solidly.
Yeah, I think they'll have it pretty solidly, but something to note is that Jhin right now isn't in more of a spot of like a hyper carry, especially with the Karma, but he is able to reposition really fast. But we stop that with Life's War, bro. It just kind of goes in.
Yeah, going in pretty hard. Prof is gonna get out of there pretty quick, or Pro.
Yeah, I mean, has the corrupting pod, has the oranges. I mean, it got a little scary for a minute there, but it looks like Bobrovsky's kind of found his window in.
Yeah, he might not even need to. First blood going over to Life Orb as a flash comes out from Loople. Unfortunate. Thought he could get away from the Orn right there, but just unable to. Those W smacks with the hammer hurt quite a bit.
I mean, a good look from Bobrovsky. Sneaks in, isn't ended up needed. Does put down the W for an assist. Does end up giving Gangplank a watery grave, but I mean, in the end, that's basically all Life Slowbro's damage, and just picks up basically a solo kill.
Yeah, and that's, I was saying earlier in the draft that Ornn, we've been hearing a lot that Ornn struggles when it comes to the 1v1s, but a lot of these teams in the Mythic League have been proving us wrong. We've seen quite a bit of Ornn in the last week actually step up, and at first I thought it was maybe just like a skill difference in like the matchups, but Loople and Life Orb are both pretty evenly matched players, so seeing this Ornn do so well, I'm starting to think that maybe he might actually be a good blind pick at this point in the meta.
Yeah, I mean, the way I saw it from earlier, I mean, just a little bit more damage. He's not going to get him. But I mean, as I monologue a little bit, it feels like the way that, oh my god, Life Orb Slowbro taking nothing.
You thought he would just do some poke, but really it was the kill the entire time. Flashes under, grabs it, trades his life for it, but still, Life Orb getting really big in this lane right now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's not much of a counter pick. Hyatt trying to do something in the opposite side of the map, but I mean, he's getting counter jungled by Bobrovsky. Yeah. He doesn't even know. He kind of knows he's here. He just sees the soil and has to just walk away.
Yeah, Bobrovsky playing right behind enemy lines. Secret Agent Bobrovsky secures the little Gromp, gets away with his life. What a legend. And now we're just going to settle into a farming pattern for right now. Fat Actor looking to get some damage out right there. Ooh, quite a bit onto Floro. As now Bobrovsky's looking for H block. Is he going to be able to grab him? The ult comes through. It does hit. It does land. So does the Q from the Morgana. But now here's the Nocturne. The flash out from H block, but Bobrovsky grabs the kill. Hayat's trying to chase him down. He's probably going to grab him. Here's the Q to give the speed boost. But there comes the root from the Morgana. Is going to get away with his life. A 1-for-0 trade in favor of POG.
I mean, a little bit hesitant from POG. You could see that Gunsy and Bobrovsky were kind of coordinating. Not sure. Gunsy gets the max range ultimate. Bobrovsky a little late on the Q uptake, just aiming a little carefully, so to speak. Ends up picking up H block in the end, who ends up failing his flash and is able to get away just to a poorly timed spell shield from Haya. Not sure if he didn't have it, maybe just a poorly timed W. In the end, Bobrovsky gets away, and the trade is won from POG.
Yeah, now it looks like they're going for another one. Life Orb getting the ult onto Prof, and he's gonna keep running. He's trying to get away. He does eat the orange to try to escape. Pro, you've got to run. Life Orb is on the hunt. W goes down, though. Is it going to go to the Morgana? Nope, they're going to give it... Oh, they are. They are going to give it over to Bobrovsky. Another kill in the pocket of this Morgana. This Gangplank is just getting picked on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a consequence of what happened in the earlier trades. Bobrovsky finds an early gank. Basically just from the solo kill from Life Orb. Just the 2 solo kills, almost. Punishes the flash. Bobrovsky starts with the counter jungle on the bot side of the map because the Gromp has a pushing lane bot, transfers the gank from the mid lane where he got that kill, decides to not even farm his camps and directly go top due to the pushing wave of the Gangplank, and overall just a good look and a good play from POG.
Yeah, now Life Orb's got almost double the CS of this Gangplank. He's got 2 kills and an assist. He's got a turret plate for himself. He is going to start to become a problem for HBK. They're going to have a hard time dealing with this until the Jinx can get online or the Nocturne gets some armor pen in there, some attack speed too. So they're going to have to be careful in some team fights around here. If POG decides to go for a dragon, I don't think HBK can really challenge her unless they get a pick at the start of the fight.
Yeah, I mean, the way H-Block's comp is right now is they want to take outnumber fights with the global ultimate, maybe just even try to get a couple kills on the early bot lane. But I mean, what the Karma is, what we were talking about earlier with the Karma, while it doesn't enable as well as an engaged kind of champion.
Oh, Bobrovsky looking for another ult onto H block. They lock him down with the Q. It's going to be a W2, and Gunsy's going to pick up the kill this time. Now 5-for-1 in favor of POG, but their bot lane's got to be careful. The Nocturne is here. He is level 6. He could go for a dive if they choose for it, and Hayat is kind of looking for it right now. Fat Ecto trying to clear out the ward. Bobrovsky is starting up the dragon. They do know that they're there, but I don't know if Hayat's going to even try to contest it right now. His Life and Pro are dueling it out in the top lane. Life still doing pretty well. I mean, he's getting kind of low in this fight, but it is an Ornn. If you aren't careful, he will just annihilate you. And now the ult coming through from the Gangplank. Not going to be enough, though. Bobrovsky grabs the first dragon of the game.
Yeah, I mean, what Life is doing effectively is just kind of just making it so, well, stacking the wave and just making it a hard time for Prolupo to just kind of push what advantage he has left. Not really an advantage, but, you know, just some poke down. Just try to live in the lane. Try not to get ganked again, because he just got flash up again. But, I mean, so to speak, it all started, that Drake take started with the mid lane, and it looks like they've returned.
Gunsy getting engaged on by H-Block. Here comes the teleport from Lupul, but it's not going to matter. Bobrovsky's locking down H-Block. He's getting low, and Gunsy's going to grab the kill, and now he's got the ult onto Lupul. Lupul going to have to try to use his orange to get out of there, but he's just going to get rooted up immediately again, and now here comes a third challenger, the Nocturne in. There's a kill on the side. Gunsy grabs the Gangplank too, and now Bobrovsky and Life Orb are looking for Hayat. Gets the ult through. The Ram comes through. The Q, though. Oh, the minion block and the flash attempt, but it's not going to matter. Bobrovsky goes on a killing spree as Life Orb knocks up Hayat.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of heartbreak for Hayat at the end there. Tries to get out. Salvages the kill. Doesn't salvage the kill, but I mean...
Now we got H-Block looking to try to grab something here, but it's just going to scare off Pog's bot lane. Teleport, not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of looks like H-Block is not communicating very well. You could see in that mid lane fight that H-Block was very clearly getting ganked from that side of the on the right side of the mid lane, and Hayat decided to farm his red buff instead, effectively waiting 3 or 4 seconds, even though the play was obviously to TP onto the mid lane, as Prolupo was TPing to help his mid laner. But in the end, I mean, they get 1 kill, but 3 of them go down.
Yeah, it's not really worth it. I mean, they do take out Gunsy in the process, but he wasn't yet on his spree. He wasn't yet had with a bounty. He's only had 2 kills. So not quite what they were hoping for, I think. I agree. I think it felt like there's been a lack of communication between H-Block, or there's a miscommunication. They're on a different page right now, and they need to kind of get this sorted out. They need to get on the same page. They've got to try to make these plays together, because if they keep bleeding out like this, you know, I don't know if they'll be able to come back into it if they let this lead keep growing for POG.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking really difficult right now, but there are ways for them to get back in, and I mean, one of your safer options right now is that one of the better options you have right now is kind of just scaling to late and hoping that your Jinx and Lulu are able to deal enough damage. Maybe just this Ornn's going to be very hard to deal with, even though that the Jinx and the Lulu are doing very well with 0 and 0. No kills, no deaths. I mean, all in all, it's just an even lane in the bot lane, but I mean...
Oh, they grab H-Block with an ult again. Now Bobrovsky's looking for him too. He gets the Q down. He's going to drop him with the pool, and another kill going over to Gunsy. H-Block is just getting picked on too. We thought it was Lupul taking all of that, but it's the Nico all along.
Yeah, I mean, we're really seeing the proactivity and the communication difference in between these two teams right now. Of course, we've already highlighted that H-Block is having a little bit of a communication issue right now, and they're being punished for it. But the proactivity from Bobrovsky just cannot be matched from Hayat, and he's just falling farther and farther behind.
Yeah, normally when you think of proactivity, ooh, the second charge does get to go off for that. Herald, good job, Shelly. Keep up the good work. Anyways, though, the bottom side, Crow getting polymorph. They are trying to chase him down, but here comes Fat Ecto. He gets the shield down. The Q's coming through from Crow. I don't know if he wants to continue this on. You don't want to try to duel a Jinx and a Lulu. They can get quite a bit of damage out there. But like you were saying, you know, you usually expect like a Nocturne to be pretty proactive, especially once he hits 6, getting ganks. He has got a pretty long range. But it's this Morgana with Bobrovsky's on. This Morgana is doing so much work, rotating all over the map, trying to make plays happen in basically every lane. It hasn't really come down bottom yet, but I mean, really, why do you need to come down there when you can just play an even lane and still come out fairly fine? But he's getting the leads where they need to, and I think this is proving to be something that, you know, Hayat's got to step up if he wants to help his team out here.
I mean, this is also from the strength of the champion. I mean, due to the nature of how Morgana jungle works, is that her clear times effectively mean more time up on the map because her clear times are so fast. She's effectively able to roam more, and you can see that she's already ganked all 3 lanes, and she's gotten kills in most of her ganks. I want to say 5 or 6 of her ganks have already been successful, whereas Hyatt's really just trying to clean up what's left, and he's late to the fights, and that's due to the clear time and clear speed. By the time the play is already over, Hyatt's already is just forced to clear his jungle because the play is already over. Unless there's some proactivity or some insight into the play that's happening due to the lack of vision,
Hyatt's looking for something, but Bobrovsky gets an ult down. He's going to land the Q2, and down is going to go Hyatt. And now he's going gold. No, it's a double kill, actually. Both of the kills going over to Gunsy. They'll make that a third going over to the Morgana this time. 3 kills for nothing in favor of POG. Let's see how this fight broke out.
You can see the TP coming in from Slowbro. I mean, not even needed, but that ult from Gunsy just absolutely shreds them to bits. And as soon as those kills are down, I mean, Foro is just left for dead. There's nothing to protect him. 5 members of POG down on that side of the map, and Gunsy even TP's top side, so they minimize their losses in that top lane.
Yeah, and Bobrovsky doing a really good job there of kind of grabbing the aggro for the team. Goes into, takes the turret aggro, giving time for the teleport to come through, then goes golden so Life Orb can take the aggro for him. And, you know, we've seen how tanky Life Orb is at this point. He's got the Iceborne. Ooh, a kill topside. Gunsy just takes it for free onto Lupul.
Close your eyes, man. Gunsy's kind of just corralling Pro Lupul into that topside bush and just does too much damage. Man is 7-1, 600 gold bounty. Already finished his Mythic. He's going to go back and probably get another half a component, maybe even a second item.
Yeah, if he gets a full second item, that's going to be pretty brutal. We're looking over at HBK. He doesn't even have his first full item yet. Doesn't even have full boots. So he's getting a little bit far behind here. Gunsy kind of running away with this game. I'm not sure who's been more impactful. I'll say Bobrovsky has been more impactful in the landing phase, but these team fights, it's all been Gunsy. It's all been him making these plays with the Orianna and getting quite a bit of work done. As now, hey, it's looking for Gunsy. Gunsy, though, getting away. He's going to sneak through enemy lines. He's got Life Orb here to back him up, though. I don't think they know he's still here. They're going to try to do a Life Orb. Life Orb, though, going on to Hayat. Tries to drop the shield. It's not going to work, though. He's going to get knocked up, and now Gunsy comes in. Half health onto Hayat. The ult comes through. They grab him, pull him through, and Bobrovsky's going to grab the kill. HBK trying to scare him away, but they know it's not him, and he gets caught with the Q. And now they've got to try to push through this minion wave. I think they want this top turret. Mid lane getting a little bit pressure, too. But now they're looking for a bush gank. They're trying to pull a Fnatic here. Bobrovsky walks forward. Looking to grab something right here. Here comes the Nico ult going through. It doesn't hit anybody. They root the Nico in place. HBK trying to run away. Gets down to half health, and everyone just kind of backs off.
Yeah, I mean, Gunsy's really feeling himself, as he should be. 7-1 on the Orianna. But we were talking about a second item, and it looks like he's picked up the Soul Stealer and even a Rod on that back. It's going to be very hard for HBK to come back into this game.
Yeah, he's thinking, you know, I'm probably not going to die with this team. There's no way they're going to get to me. They're just going to be on Crow. They're going to be on Bobrovsky. And now Hayat going down again, gets hit with the Q from the Morgana, and Crow is going to pick up another kill for him. Or actually his first kill of the game, sorry. Now he's on the board, and now this mid-second tier turret is going to go down. Top getting pressured too. Dragon up in 244, so the only really objective is the second Herald. And now Nico, HBK looking for that gank right now. He's on the side, but Life Orb might just ram Lupul right out of the map right here. Flashes forward, gets the smackdown with the hammer. And now HBK getting low too, trying to run away. The Jhin ult coming through, trying to fire. Not going to matter though. Bobrovsky's going to pick up the kill, walking for it. I think he might have actually smited that kill. This is always a disrespect play.
Yeah, smites him, gets the last auto attack, finishes him off. I mean, it's just brutal for HBK right now. The death timers are so scattered, they can't even defend the inhibitor. Right now, I mean, it goes down at 17 minutes in. And POG is really just using their advantage and pushing it as far as they can. Not even taking some recalls.
Yeah, it looks like they might try to go for this other Herald. It's so early in the game, they can still grab second Herald, and if they decide to siege up this mid lane, they can drop it on the Nexus turrets. That's how fast POG is pushing this game right now. And that's the pace they're going to try to keep up here. Koro, ooh, got to reconnect. H-Block looks like disappeared there for a moment. All good, though. He is back in this Medjai's. 14 stacks in. Not full build yet, but I bet it's going to get there very shortly unless things change course.
Yeah, I mean, we see that POG has 2 Drakes stacked up. They're probably going to end up getting the Herald while they have control. Probably going to end up sending someone out in the side lanes, probably playing a 1-3-1, maybe even run it down as 5 because they're so strong at this game real fast. But what you want to do as H-Block right now is just establish vision while the back timers of POG are going right now, because if you notice, most of this game has been dictated by the vision zones, where H-Block is just doesn't know, can't track these teammates from POG. But it's really, so to speak, to give H-Block the benefit of the doubt, it's very hard to establish vision unless you're winning. These zones are very big choke points for the Ornn and Orianna ultimate. If you walk into it blindly, you'll just end up dying.
Yeah, and even earlier in the game, despite when there was no items quite up yet, you don't want to walk into a jungle, get hit by a Morgana Q. You never know who could show up with that. And now the Herald is going to go down. They're going to try to push it onto the Nexus turret like we were saying. Ult comes through from the Gangplank. H-Block looking for Sign right here. Fake block runs through. The Herald gets no charge off. And now POG, I don't know if they're going to try to keep fighting this. They are getting a little bit of chip damage on themselves. It's not really good to dive 2 turrets, and they're just going to back off, start heading towards that dragon on the bottom side, grab their 3rd of the game and put themselves on soul point. And now they're looking for H-Block. He gets caught out with the Q from the Morgana, and Gunsey's going to go unstoppable. And now the fight is on. They're on to Lupul right now. They're trying to chase him down. POG, Gianna grab him. It looks like Lupul getting away with the ult, but the ult from Gunsey grabs the Jinx, and now Conroe's on the run. Run, little Lulu, run. You're not going to get away. Oh, actually, I take that back. You are. Yeah, using the ult. He's looking for a dive right here. He's going to try to grab onto Gunsey, but Bobrovsky goes on a rampage and shuts that idea down. Lupul trying to buy some time. Crow just going to almost one-shot him. Nah, grabs him with the W instead, just for the style points. Nexus turret's going down. POG with just over 20 minutes. Oh, actually, I might have spoken too soon. Are they going to... No, they're going to still try to end it here, I think. H-Block pushing them out. They might not go for the end all the way. They're just going to let this last Nexus turret stand, and now they're going to back up, start heading towards this Baron that spawned. 12,000 gold lead, 20 minutes in for POG.
Yeah, I mean, POG walks away with that with a grin on their face, knowing they're probably going to close it out with the next push. Takes the Constellation prize, a couple kills, and an Nexus turret. Can always take it back, march back in their base with the Drake and the Baron. Probably end up closing out this game. If you're on HBK's side, I mean, you're really just looking to stall the game as long as you can, hope for a mistake, a very big one at that, get those shutdowns on your carries, but other than that, this game is looking but one.
Yeah, and Lupul teleported in to try to grab this dragon. The ult coming through from Gunsey just barely misses Lupul. He's trying to buy some time here. Be careful, though, Gunsey. There are 3 people, but Fat Ecto's here to help out. The flash over the wall for Lupul trying to get away. Gunsey going to throw his ball over the wall. He sees Conroe. Doesn't see H-Block, though. H-Block is still a little bit hidden, but he's probably going to have to back after that. They're going to give this up. Life Orb is here on the back line. 1v4. Gets Polymorph. Doesn't get to do the ult. Trying to get through. Ooh, he's taking quite a lot of damage from this Jinx, though. And now the Nico in the back line there gets the ult off onto 2. Trying to buy time. The Karma does grab the Nico there just on the side. Morgana dueling 2. They grab a 3rd. Karma goes down, though. It grabs a kill, but it's a double kill for Gunsey. Morgana grabs one for herself, too. And now Floral's on his own, trying to run away. Bobrovsky looking to grab him here with the Q. Is going to miss it, but it doesn't matter. The ace comes through from the final snipe of Crow, and POG's going to take this game to the end.
I mean, you can see the health bars. You saw some shimmers of hope if HBK maybe had 1 or 2 more items that fight might have won in their favor. But in the end, it's POG coming out on top and ending this game in a very, very convincing fashion.
POG continues their domination around the top of the league. Congratulations to them on their first win of the week. We'll see if they can repeat that going into tomorrow. I'm going to take a look at these stats on these players for this game. The gold's already impressive enough. Bobrovsky with a massive amount, but look at the damage charts right there. Gunsey doing so much work this game, and this was a tale of mid and jungle diff. This was solo queue, that's what you would call it, because Bob and Gunsey just popped off.
Yeah, I mean, you saw great ultimates from Gunsey even before. Well, Bobrovsky was ganking for him and enabling him to get these plays and get these kills. Even in the late game, he continued this trend by landing multiple people ultimates, and just you could see it all that damage that went through is mainly because of due to the amount of people he was able to hit with these ultimates every single time.
Yeah, he got quite some good ultimates off right there. Hit multiple multi-man ultimates. Didn't ever even need to sombrero it. Just good play overall from the team. And, H-Block, they still did put up a good performance. It's just, unfortunately, Bobrovsky just got the better of them this game and got that early snowball going. And, with the comp that they're running, it's hard to come back from that. Nico and Nocturne do not very well when they're far behind, but still, there's some positives take away from this game. They held their own very well in the bottom lane, and despite the setbacks, the Nocturne still did quite a bit of work himself. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm looking at self-mitigated damage now. Ornn blocked a lot. Oh my god, Life Orb.
Yeah, that was a tanky Ornn. Did get 2 solo kills up in the top lane, had Bambi Cinder and double cloth armor on his first back. The Gangplank lane was effectively over after that.
And it was over very quickly, as with this game. But that does it from us on the desk. Don't go anywhere, though. We've got an interview with Life Orb Slowbro coming up right after this.
Hello, folks. Chris Edgeworth here on the interview desk with the victorious Life Orb Slowbro from Poseidon Gaming. How you feeling?
Hello. Pretty good. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing awesome. That was a great game to start the day off with. If you're not on the other side of the beating, I guess. It was just crazy game all around from everyone on your team. You're stepping in this week as a sub. For people who might not be familiar with the history of the league, you were the Season 1 champion. You were in the finals for our upper bracket last season, and then here you are stepping in again as a substitute. What was the plan stepping back into the league and then coming into this game as a sub?
So coming into this game, we picked the Ornn, and then they picked the Gangplank, and then we kind of figured it was going to be a weak side top. We both picked weak side top laners. Both of our comps kind of revolve around getting the mid laners and ADCs fed. But obviously the game plan kind of changed once the lane dynamics came out for mid and top. Gangplank didn't contest the grass proc level 1, so he ended up losing, and I got the early push, which means I can help my jungler get topside scuttle control, which then forces Nocturne to focus elsewhere. And then, the lack of vision top lane from the enemy team allowed, Bob Rossi to come in and, clean up pretty easily.
Yeah,
snowballing the top lane matchup.
It sounds like you had it planned out on how you thought it went, but also to the points that you're making, you guys just saw what was happening on the map. You're like, yo, yeah, this is happening here. What can we do about this? And Bobrovsky was able to take advantage of what was going on with the pressure that you're able to draw out in the top lane and abuse that more or less. Let me talk to you about this champion though that you picked. You blind pick the Ornn, right? And then you get this Gangplank matchup, a matchup that you should technically be losing. Now, Ornn use is known as the Mythic, assassin, necromancer, paladin, tank, shaman, you name it. This season he got kind of gimped though with the item changes. How do you feel about Ornn in season 11?
So Ornn in season 11 does not have the same power that he once had. I think we can all agree on that. His lane phase is weaker, his mid game is weaker because he only gets an upgrade for himself, plus the upgrade comes, later in the game for him and his teammates. I do think that the later, he's one of the better late game tanks because once he can get all of his upgrades, he's stronger than he was last season, plus they give more scaling armor and magic resist. However, getting to that point, even in this game, I only hit level 13, I couldn't upgrade anybody. The game's kind of over and decided by that point. So that's why you don't see Ornn picked up that much, because you're basically missing out on his entire passive at that point.
Yeah, I think unfortunately he really, in a way, it wasn't just like, oh cool, we'll just change it so that he only gets the strength. It's like you would think that refocusing it on him would be a net even, when it was taking away the strength that he gives to your team makes it so it's picking this weak side guy doesn't have the huge eventual payoff that it would before. And so it's just well, now I just gotta play around this and hope that eventually I can actually carry on this champion. Because before it was hey guys, I'm Ornn, you get cool items, I'm gonna call my Ornn horn from miles away. So you did a great job on this game. This is definitely one to upload to Ornn Hub. You definitely were popping off in the top lane. Do you have any final thoughts for us, Life Orb Slowbro? Thanks for coming in on the interview desk and joining as a sub for sure. Do you have any parting words for us, for the rest of the top laners in the league, maybe?
Just have fun. This league is here to get better and to have fun at the end of the day. So,
right on.
That's pretty much my final words.
Excellent. Well, Life Orb Slowbro, thank you for joining us again after that big win. Folks, don't touch that browser. We'll be right back with Game 2 of Mythic, so don't go away.